We're almost ready to flip the switch and go racing. Welcome to di9 Design's Thursday Night Thunder, round number 8. From the Talladega Superspeedway, Toby Estes and Adam Taylor have control of the front row in this, the final plate race of the season. Greensburg, Kentucky's very own Toby Estes leading the field to the line. This is going to be a fantastic race. On his outside, Adam Taylor in the number 32 from nearby Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, has the outside line. It's going to be an all bluegrass front row. Starting further on through the field, Stamford, Connecticut's Thomas Andrews rocking Thursday Night Thunder on the hood, and to his inside, another Kentucky boy as well, this time rocking the Smokies Bar paint scheme on that number 3. Shout out to all the folks over in Greensburg, Kentucky watching from Smokies Bar. That number 3 Impala SS starts on the inside of row number 5. He's got Tommy Reynolds to his outside, but at the front, it's Toby Estes and Adam Taylor getting ready to start this race. Round number 8 from iRacing's Talladega 100 laps of action. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. Leading lap number 1 in the 7-8 Dodge Viper Intrepid to the inside with Rockwall's Donald Ray behind him. Toby Estes leads lap number 1 with the number 5 CarQuest Chevrolet sitting in that second position on the inside line. Mr. Adam Taylor in the 3-2. Also on the outside, still both lines led by Kentucky pilots, and then the 5-3 of Jason Alexander rocking the same paint scheme as Toby Estes leading this race. Alexander not from the great state of Kentucky, Salem, South Carolina's Jason Alexander being followed by Nassau, Bahamas, Elrich George in the number 40. Cat Dodge, and behind him, Stamford, Connecticut's Thomas Andrews on the back end of that field, trying to lead the second lap. Toby Estes in that 78. Donald Ray just behind him, drafting diligently. 2 laps complete from the Talladega Superspeedway. Jason Alexander running the fastest lap of the race and just being beat there. New Jersey's Tristan Catania in the number 48. Arcs Impala puts in a 50.20 second lap. That's the fastest of the race so far. Let's ride around with the Kentucky pilot for a lap through Talladega. At the front of this race, it's still a Kentucky front row with Toby Estes leading. Tristan Catania sitting mired back on that inside line ahead of Ryan Pennell. Bama Tram is in the chats. He says, hey y'all, Mama Vols, glad to have you in this chat. Glad to have you here. It's going to be a brilliant race so far. The longest race of the season coming into tonight. 266 miles, the scheduled distance. Will have 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. New fastest lap in today's race, however, Kansas City's Seth Wansing with a 50.13 second lap in that special Jeff Gordon Department of Defense paint scheme. The number 9 Impala SS, fastest driver so far, but hanging out towards the back, waiting for everybody to clear their mess at the front of this race. Wansing in the 9, dipping down behind Catania in the 4-8. At the front, Rockwall's Donald Ray, new leader. He's got Toby Estes to the outside with Kentucky pilot Adam Taylor pushing him along in that 3-2. Dodge, Ford, Dodge on the outside. Chevy, Ford, Chevy on that inside line. The familiar Jeff Gordon 24 of Richie Catania. From Central Florida behind Ohio's Terry Gabbard. He's pushing along Donald Ray at the front. Look at Jason Alexander going 3 wide to the outside. That Dodge making it work for him, but no drafting partners in that third line, and he's going to have to wait for someone to come behind him and push. Greensburg's Cody Riggs to the inside line. He's behind Patrick Allen in that 4-5, pushing Jeremy Brio in that 74 car. Winner at Watkins Glen, now behind Catania, the 45, getting unsettled. He had a difficult practice, keeping that car out of trouble. There he is once again. Ryan Pennell now diving to the inside line, loose into turn number 1, and sparks flashing off of the back of the number 12 Mobil 1 Ford Taurus. Brio up ahead. Cars starting to get accordioned a bit, and in the chat you've got Jay Burdett saying, shout out to my neighbor Adam Taylor in the 32. Let's go. Cheering on for the Sharpie Ford sitting second on the inside line, and it's 2 Kentucky drivers, 1-2 on that inside line. Adam Taylor in the 3-2 behind Toby Estes in that 7-8. Donald Ray now trying to follow suit, bringing this train just a little bit faster up that inside line. The number 7 of Tommy Reynolds, he's up 10 places from where he started in that unmarked Aramark. Number 7 with Briley right behind him. Speaking of the Kentucky love tonight, that number 18 Nos Camry being piloted by Wright. He's another driver from Kentucky, and we have a driver that just went purple again. Jason Alexander just went purple, 50.09 second lap. Gavin Beers, a new follower on Rick James TV. Appreciate you, Gav. Glad to have you in this race. Caution free so far in the first 8 laps. Toby Estes back to the lead from the Bahamas. Elrich George leading that line on the top side. Thomas Andrews behind him, and Tommy Reynolds filling in the 3rd position in that number 7. If you've recently tuned in, I'm Rick James, and you're watching di9 Designs Thursday Night Thunder, round number 8 from the Talladega Superspeedway. Elrich George just edging out Toby Estes in that 7-8. Our first sub-50 second lap. John Honeybrink with a 49.92 second circuit. He's wiggling. He's loose out of 2 after just putting in that fastest lap. Up ahead, Tom Sears in that lime-colored number 14 RaceArcs.com Supra, following Cody Riggs in that 3. Ryan Pennell now to the inside, side drafting with that 3, pushing along Jeremy Brio, and they're trying to crack this top 10 as we come to lap number 10. Jason Alexander going high, trying to get some clean air or possibly get a run on the 18 of Briley Wright. They're headed into turn number 1. Alexander with a big push. Toby Estes still leading at the front in that 78. This is what the world looks like from behind the 7-8 of Toby Estes. 10 laps complete from the Talladega Superspeedway. Adam Taylor behind that 7-8, watching Thomas Andrews get out of shape on the top side. He's got the 7 car behind him. That's Tommy Reynolds. Tom's nose to tail through turn number 1. Reynolds trying to get a good push down that back straight. Elrich George with a great run out of turn number 2. He's got the edge headed into 3, but will the number 40 Caterpillar Dodge lead out of 4? Toby Estes says no. That position belongs to me. Estes in that 7-8 car running up the inside line. Still leading so far. He's led the majority of laps today, but how long will this go on? 2 by 2, almost 11 rows deep at Talladega, and these drivers have not broken formation at the front. One of the special paint schemes here tonight, Josh Garrison in the number 62 Me Chevrolet Impala, channeling his inner love for Ricky Bobby in this race. Quite a special paint scheme. You gotta love to see some of that creativity in sim racing. To his inside, Florida's Richie Catania in the 2-4 Pepsi DuPont Chevrolet, pushing Ohio's Terry Gabbard. Drivers must be careful not to bump draft through the corners. It's explicitly prohibited in the rules tonight. At the front, using the draft, is Bahamas' Elrich George from Nassau, leading his first laps this season, and the Bahamian is your new leader at Talladega. Greensburg's very own Cody Riggs sitting in that number 3 car, carrying sponsorship from Smokey's Bar. Shout out to the folks out in Greensburg watching tonight from Smokey's. Got word that they might be streaming tonight's race, and if they are, big shout out to those folks over there. Hopefully you're enjoying the show so far. A lot of Kentucky pilots in this race and doing well in the top 10. Jason Alexander, one of those pilots from South Carolina who's desperate to make that third line work. And at the front, Tommy Reynolds trying to side draft off of car number 40. Drag race to the line, 7 on the outside to lead lap number 13. It's Elrich George by 4/100ths of a second. Been an up and down season for Elrich George, especially headed into this 8th round of racing. You see George nowhere near the top 20, but at a race like this, anybody could win this competition. You can keep your eye out for any one of these 20 drivers out on the racetrack that just might score that surprise win. Into round 8 with a 16-digit lead. Donald Ray in the number 5 car, currently being scored 10th, has control of the points table with Tommy Withers behind him. Withers running 20th at the moment, just hanging out at the back, waiting for something to develop. Let's ride along with the Virginian. This is what the world looks like from the cockpit of car number 6. You can hear him play with the throttle down the back straight, just trying to gain control of this race car behind Terry Gabbard. Dustin Painter, one of the North Carolinians in this field, also hanging out at the back in the 00 Aquafresh Buckshot Grand Prix. That's 2 Grand Prix nose to tail at the back of this one. But at the front of this race, new leader in car number 7, Tommy Reynolds has his Aramark Chevrolet up front for now. But here comes Briley Wright with help from Jason Alexander coming to the front of this field. Wright still hasn't cleared the 7 car, but that's one of those Kentucky pilots at the front just for the moment. His NOS Camry being urged through the corner by the 5-3 of Jason Alexander, and then the 6-2 of Josh Garrison. Up 10 places from where he started. Briley Wright in the 18 car is up 18 places from where he started, but now Jason Alexander takes it 3 wide on the top side, and he's looking to make that high line work. Reynolds loving this as he's got the advantage all up the middle. The 7 car leading this race with Elrich George behind him on the inside line, and Jason Alexander dropping like a lead brick through this field. Everybody getting bunched up through the tri-oval. Briley Wright with another attack to the top side. 18 laps into this race. Car 18 has the lead, looking to cut off the 7 into turn number 1, but he's not clear. Loses the run. There goes the 6-2 of Josh Garrison to the outside. 3 wide for the lead at Talladega. Car number 7 up that inside line just ahead of Elrich George in the 40. Still 3 wide for the lead, and it's a 3-way drag race for position number 1. Riley Wright wins that exchange as points leader Donald Ray starts to sink through the field. Tommy Reynolds does not go without a fight. 7 car moving up the inside line with Elrich George still in third. The Bahamian surrounded by all of these American drivers up that inside line on the tri-oval. About to complete lap number 18. Riley Wright leads that 18th lap of competition. Massachusetts' Tom Sears right behind him. One unsettled driver is the local from Birmingham, Alabama, Ryan Pennell in the 1-2 Mobil 1 Ford, side by side, door to door with Jeremy Brio out of the second corner. The sun peeking behind some clouds and giving temporary shade to these drivers. Tristan Catania, one of those drivers, just seemingly sneaking up through the field as they go 3 wide, just almost making contact through that corner. Everybody having to hold their breath. Dustin Painter's gone around at the back of the field, and there goes the 00 contact with the 45 of Patrick Allen. Unsurprising to most people who saw practice and qualifying, it's another incident for car 45. The 00 with a great start to this race. You can see he's got a pushed-in hood, and let's see what brought out caution number 1, 20 laps into this race. They're already wrecking the 74 of Jeremy Brio, involved in that one. Again, already crashing. Let's roll this one back and see what started this accident here. The 45 of Patrick Allen grinding along the wall down the back straight, and there he just turns left into Jeremy Brio, causing all of this. The 45 of Patrick Allen, the catalyst in this accident. Let's have a look one more time with car 45. The crash has already started. Keep your eye on the hands of the 45 car. You can see he's just barely grinding alongside that wall, and watch the car just cut left. He gets off the wall, the car cuts left immediately into traffic. The 74 of Jeremy Brio there, his spotter undoubtedly telling him that there's activity to his inside. Let's ride along with Dustin Painter as we watch all of this unfold from the 00 car. Nowhere for the North Carolinian to go. Let's check this out from Tommy Withers' point of view. He avoided this accident. Withers in the 6, driving through the smoke. There's John Honeybrink wrecking out ahead of him. Withers clever enough to get on the brakes and avoid that accident. That clever move right there is going to earn Tommy Withers his very own Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
Ice cream indeed, Cole. Ice cream indeed. So Tommy Reynolds is being scored as the race leader with Briley Wright in the second position. The Bahamian Elrich George sitting in the bronze medal position for now. We're going to take a short break while we get these race cars stacked up once again and get ready to go racing. Fans, don't go anywhere. You're watching di9 Designs Thursday Night Thunder from the Talladega Superspeedway. Back in 2. Back with you at the Talladega Superspeedway. Tommy Reynolds being scored as the leader. Shout out to Gavin Beers following on Twitch and Brandon Curry subscribing on YouTube. Jay Burdett also in the YouTube chat saying shout out to my neighbor Adam Taylor, car 32. Well, Jay, your neighbor sits in the 11th position right now behind Richie Catania in that 2-4. Tommy Reynolds leads the race in car number 7. And if the cars look familiar to you, yes, these are Generation 4 or ARCA cars as they're known. And with a little bit of throwback cars comes throwback rules as well. No double file restarts in Thursday Night Thunder. Just like you remember from the 90s and early 2000s, single file restarts lap down cars to the inside. So Tommy Reynolds has control of the field. Kentucky's Briley Wright in the second position. Bahamas' Elrich George running in third in the 4-0 Caterpillar Dodge. Thomas Andrews from Stamford, Connecticut. Look at that. Rocking a little Rick James TV1 logo on the hood. Appreciate you, Tommy. With a Thursday Night Thunder logo as well. Josh Garrison going to be starting 5th in the Me 6.2 Impala. Tom Sears in 6th. He's up 14 places from where he started. Toby Estes in the 7th position. Our pole sitter in the number 7-8 Dodge Viper Intrepid. New Jersey's Tristan Catania in 8th. Terry Gabbard in the freaky fast Ford Fusion in 9th. Richie Catania rocking out the top 10. Waiting for the signal for Tommy Reynolds. Listening for his spotter. Listening for the command to get moving. Green flag is out. Let's go racing from Talladega. Reynolds with a great start, but here comes Briley Wright now. Will he push him? Wright looking to move to the outside. Reynolds with a great jump to the start, but he may have left himself a sitting duck headed into turn number 3. Briley Wright using the draft, the slingshot around Tommy Reynolds, and he takes the lead from the restart. Great move from the 1-8. Briley Wright, new leader at Talladega. Elridge George now getting a smell of the draft. A bit of a tandem restart to this race with Thomas Andrews pushing along in car number 2. 3 wide for the 4th position with Tom Sears moving to that inside in the ARCS Supra. There's Wright now with Elridge George on his outside. Does George have the momentum? Josh Garrison rim riding on the top side in the 6'2 Mi Impala. The 4-0 Caterpillar Dodge on the outside of the Aramark Chevrolet. Wright with sole possession of the lead for now, and this race has been split into 2 packs. Adam Taylor in the 12, side by side with Toby Estes. These drivers need to get single file if they intend on catching up with the pack. And at the front, Kentucky's Briley Wright split 7-10, and he's in the vacuum hole right down the middle. Florida's Richie Catania moves to the inside in the 2-4 Pepsi Chevrolet. Terry Gabbard behind him, and at the front, Tommy Reynolds, sole leader once again with Tom Sears trying to side draft up that outside. Supra Camry nose to tail, 25 laps underway. The top pack starting to split away. It's 10 cars at the front of this one. Jason Alexander leading in pack number 2. Again, not able to get single file. Look at the discord in 11th, 12th, and 13th. Talking about the 3-2. The Sharpie Ford being piloted by Adam Taylor to the inside of Jason Alexander. Donald Ray, the points leader, stuck in 12th. There are the di9 Designs standings coming into this round. Donald Ray leading Tommy Withers by 16 points. And then it's 7 points between Tommy Withers and Thomas Andrews. John Honeybrink in 4th. Tom Sears in 5th. Dustin Painter just involved in that last accident, sitting in the 6th position in points. Everybody in this secondary pack trying to form up. There goes the 5-3 of Alexander ahead of Donald Ray. Adam Taylor forced to fall in line, and now this secondary pack might just start gaining ground on this 2x2, 5 deep formation at the front. Reynolds still leads. Tom Sears to the outside. Tristan Catania and Briley Wright second in their respective lanes. J-Paw in the Twitch chat says, sounds good, Rick. Appreciate you, J-Paw. The pride of McGee, Mississippi in the chat tonight. Glad to have him here. Tommy Reynolds side by side with Tom Sears looking back to this pack. One driver that's caught on to the back of 11th through 15th, and now we're looking like we're going to get a big single file formation. Talking about Cody Riggs in the number 3 Smokies Chevrolet Impala. He's got Seth Wansing right behind him in the 9. Let's ride along with Missouri's Seth Wansing. Wansing sitting in the 16th position. John Honeybrink right behind him. Honeybrink so far the only driver to put in a sub 50 second lap. 49.92 seconds, the fastest lap of the race so far. Alabama's Ryan Pennell wiggling out of turn number 2 in the Mobil 1 Chevrolet. Then behind him, Dustin Painter in the 00. Jeremy Brio and Patrick Allen also falling into line, and you see the single file formation. Each of these drivers just desperately trying to catch up to the pack ahead. Jason Alexander leading this line, and over the last 5 laps, you can see Alexander quicker than Terry Gabbard the last time around by 0.2 of a second. This time around, car 5-3 leading this secondary pack. Quicker by 0.7 of a second. 0.7 the difference from Jason Alexander in the 11th position to Terry Gabbard in the 10th position. You can see just the disorganization in this pack here. Still 2x2, still just fighting for this lead, not making any ground while the pack behind them starts to catch up, and it's playing out into this pack's hands right here. 30 laps about to be completed with Tommy Reynolds and Tom Sears side by side discussing the lead. Your pole sitter, Toby Estes, in the 7-8 Dodge Viper Intrepid with the 6.2 Meat Impala behind him. He sits 4th on that inside line. Let's get a shotgun view with Toby Estes. Rich George, a bit of a wiggle out of that 4th corner. You've got the 2-car, Thomas Andrews, right behind him. Andrews, is he looking to the inside of George? Just can't pull it off. There goes Andrews looking to the inside one more time. Drivers not really trying to break out of formation here, but they've got to keep their eyes open because the secondary pack continues to plow on. There you see, over the last 4 laps, this secondary pack has been quicker than 10th place Terry Gabbard, and if it goes green, that's going to make pit stops fantastically interesting because we're going to see which drivers are going to take the best advantage of the pit stop strategy. Single file, 11th on back, 2x2, 5 rows deep in the top 10. Tommy Reynolds still leading. Tristan Catania trying to break through with his brother Richie Catania right behind him. One in New Jersey, one in Florida, separated by thousands of miles, but these siblings now drafting nose to tail on the 33rd lap of competition. Tom Sears now edging at the front of this race with Briley right behind him. Will he clear the field and duck down to the inside? He does. The Massachusetts pilot, your new leader at Talladega, the Season 1 and Season 3 TNT champion, now at the point. But here comes Briley Wright drafting with a bit of that bluegrass magic in the blue and papaya-colored NOS Camry. A couple of Toyotas leading the way now. These leaders trying to get single file, but it looks like the formation not working out. 3 cars to the top side, 7 cars to the inside. Elrich George unsettled on the top side. Richie Catania giving a bit of a gap to his brother Tristan in that purple 4-8 Arcs Chevrolet, and now down the back straight. He's going to get a great run, push the inside line further, but don't look now because Jason Alexander is within 5.3 seconds to Terry Gabbard up ahead in the 10th position. Drivers will be looking to go between 25 and 35 laps on one pit window. They get 4 additional sets of tires and the 1 fast repair if they find themselves in irreparable trouble tonight. But be wise, you only get the 1. They may only be 3 cars at the top side, a Chevy, a Toyota, and a Dodge, but Tristan Catania trying to fight for that lead. Elridge George says goodbye to the top side. The Bahamian ducks down to the inside, and now you've got Toyota, Chevrolet, Dodge on that inside line with Elridge George ditching his draft partner's top side. Tristan Catania, Briley Wright, Thomas Andrews, and now Josh Garrison splits up this leading pack. Once again, the 6'2 Mi Impala tucks in behind the number 2 TNT MGD Chevrolet. Tom Sears and Tristan Catania separated by 1/100th of a second that time around. 36 laps of racing underway. Tom Sears ahead of Tommy Reynolds, who's up 13 places from where he started. And you can start to smell and taste the anxiety in this top pack. Drivers getting antsy, drivers wrestling for position, almost going 3 wide, and now the top side has more numbers than the bottom side. 5 cars at the top, 9 cars to the inside. Terry Gabbard now looking to go to the inside and even things up. 2 by 2, 5 rows deep. Once again, Tom Sears with the undisputed lead for now, but here comes Tristan Catania with a head full of steam. Let's ride on board with Briley Wright in car number 18. Tom Sears still leading. He's up 19 places from where he started. Tristan Catania up 18 places from where he started, and more than 62 laps of racing remaining. Back to that secondary pack. Jason Alexander at the front. They have not broken formation the last couple of times. The 4 of Terry Gabbard slightly quicker than Alexander in the 5-3. The gap now 5.5 seconds from the front to the back. This is the look from 11th position. There's Terry Gabbard all the way in 10th, now exiting turn number 4. And they're just in the shadowy distance. You can see Jason Alexander trailing in the 5-3. Terry Gabbard running his fastest lap of the race, 50.07 seconds. Drivers last pitting on lap 20, and we're just a few laps away from that pit window. When will these green flag pit stops happen? How will they dictate the remainder of this race? And have drivers figured out their drafting partners, who they're going to pit with? They've got to come down from 190 miles an hour to about 55 in just a couple hundred feet. 39 laps completed at the Talladega Superspeedway. Tom Sears with control of this front pack. Jason Alexander with control of the secondary pack. Points leader Donald Ray still stuck in this secondary pack. Kentucky's Adam Taylor behind him. Virginia's Tommy Withers. Kentucky's Cody Riggs sitting 12th through 15th. Seth Wansing in the 9 car being pushed along. Drivers having to check up. Honeybrink checks up hard. Big accordion down the back straight. Seth Wansing right up the backside of Cody Riggs in the 3. At the front, 3 cars top side. 7 cars bottom side. 60 laps to go in this 8th round of competition. Next week, the final break of the season, and then it's a 4-week dash to the end. No playoffs in Thursday Night Thunder. You have the points that you have, and if you don't make the cut by the end of the season, you do not make the cut. Tom Sears still at the front. Unchallenged by anyone on the top side, just not enough momentum for Tristan Catania in the 4-8. Elrich George to his inside. Further on back, Jason Alexander in the 5-3 now has Donald Ray to his outside, and the secondary pack has broken single file formation, perhaps getting ready for pit stops. Ray ahead of Tommy Withers in that 6 car. Jason Alexander leading in the 5-3. Behind him, the 3-2 of Adam Taylor. Cody Riggs starting to get closer to his Kentucky teammate, if you will. The Sharpie Ford ahead of the Smokies Bar number 3. And the 9 of Seth Wansing watching all of this unfold. Ryan Pennell in the number 1-2 Mobile 1 Ford Taurus on the top side. And now look at what happened up front. Drivers trying to come down pit road, possibly losing a little bit of momentum. There goes Elrich George, losing all of that speed. Richie Catania, Tommy Withers also with him. Let's see what happened in this pack here. Look at the 40 car just barely missing out on a big accident. Have a look to car 40 again. Well, and we missed it. The third time's a charm. Let's have a look with Elrich George. This is the lap prior, so not sure what happened, but an absolute great save by the 40 of George. Possibly just got loose out of the corner. There's George sitting in 8th, and now a lifeline might have just been thrown to this secondary pack before pit stops. There's the lead pack, ending with Terry Gabbard. There's the secondary pack behind him, starting with Elrich George in the 40. Will this 3-car single file formation be enough to catch up to the rest of this pack? Caution number 2 is out at the Talladega Superspeedway. Donald Ray, Tommy Withers have gone around. Big crash headed into the 3rd corner. Virginia's Tommy Withers involved. Patrick Allen involved in his 2nd crash of the day. Rockwall, Texas, Donald Ray, the points leader, caught up in this 2nd yellow. Let's see what brings out the caution on lap 44. Whoa! Just the 7-8 or the 5-3, it looks like, just got sent into the outside. One more look. Bump drafting down the back straight, the 32 of Adam Taylor just barely hooking the 5-3 of Jason Alexander. Let's have a look from the gearbox of Mr. Alexander. There goes Cody Riggs sneaking through all of that. Ryan Pennell got just a little bit of some action there. Have a look at Dustin Painter. Just couldn't react quick enough. Just couldn't get out of the way of Ryan Pennell. Couldn't sense that coming. Let's ride along shotgun with John Honeybrink. Watch this. Watch Seth Wansing do the same. Heads-up play by the Missouri native. Just ducks down to the inside away from trouble, and he survives that accident. So caution number 2 flies at the Talladega Superspeedway. Everybody coming down pit road for tires and fuel, and lo and behold, look who's back up front. Greensburg, Toby Estes scored as the race leader just before the halfway mark. Driver's going to be able to go about another 25 to 35 laps in this race. So while they take a break, we're going to do the same. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more racing from iRacing's Talladega. Back at Talladega with your race leader, Toby Estes, in control of this field. Let's try and bother the driver of the 78 and see how his race is going so far. Toby Estes, Rick James up top. You got me?
Sure do. What's up, buddy?
Toby, you're leading this race and you had great control of the field so far, but it seems like bump drafting has been a bit of an issue tonight. How's the Dodge Viper Intrepid handling for you?
The Dodge is doing good. You definitely got to be careful with the bump drafts. The biggest key is just staying patient and taking the run when you can.
Who's your best drafting partner out on the track today, Toby?
Kind of a mixture. I've tried to hook up with Briley a few times. It just hasn't worked out yet. But as we move forward here, I'm definitely trying to hook up with some few people and see what we can't get done here.
Is it more of a Kentucky connection where you're looking to hook up with the 18 and the 3 and the 32 before this one is over, or are you just drafting with whoever's available?
I would definitely love to hook up with the Kentucky boys, especially in a 3 car with that Smokey's car. Smokey's car looks really good.
Best of luck. Make sure you keep the shiny side up, and hopefully we talk to you at the end, Toby.
Yep, thank you.
Toby Estes leading us to green one more time as he did at the start of this race just before the halfway mark. It's car 7-8, car 1-4, car 7. Your top 3, a Dodge, Toyota, Chevrolet podium position. Estes looking to get a great jump as he picks up speed, waiting for the signal. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. Cap Pinnell in the chat says, making Kentucky proud. Right now, it's Massachusetts' Tom Sears leading this race with the 7 of Tommy Reynolds just behind him into that second corner. Estes sitting third, and you see Josh Garrison diving down to the inside line in the Me Impala. Right behind him, the 2-0 Dogecoin Impala. That's John Honeybrink, who's got the fastest lap of the race so far. Honeybrink leading, doing a brilliant job in that, in the 6-2. Sears leading this race with the 7 of Reynolds right behind him. Tom Sears ahead in the 1-4. Then you've got Toby Estes to his outside in the 7-8, Dodge Viper Intrepid, 2x2, 3 rows deep in this race. 49 laps underway from the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. Who's going to win this race? It's anybody's call. New fastest lap of the race with a 48.62. Ohio's Terry Gabbard goes purple for the session. He's sitting in 17th, but that is no indication on his speed. He just turned the fastest lap of this race. Further up through the field, Cody Riggs has caught up in that 3 car, and we're bunched up once again. All 21 cars back in contention to get a spot of this lead. 50 laps now underway. Tom Sears, Toby Estes side by side, and the whole field 2x2, 7 rows deep. Missouri's Seth Wansing watching the cavalry start to swallow that gap. How will they get out of the way? They've got to prepare to get around that number 9 car this time through. Sears to the inside, Estes to the outside, Drag Race to be the leader at the halfway mark. 7 drivers on that last lap putting in their personal fastest time. Estes on the outside leads the race at the halfway mark in the pole sitter in car 78, who finally got his first win last week. Sits 22nd in the points standings. Toby Estes, nowhere on this di9 Designs chart. He would love to appear in this top 20 2 weeks from now. Estes, Sears, inside, outside. Seth Wansing, very gentlemanlike, leaving the rest of the field to go up the inside. Class from Seth Wansing. Heads up play there. 49 laps to go this time by. If you just recently crashed behind him, there's another wreck. Tristan Catania, everybody getting spun around. Caution is out once again for the 3rd time through the tri-oval, as Jayco in the chat says, hope that 32 gets penalized. Talking about Adam Taylor in the 3-2 car. Tristan Catania with a big slam into the wall, and let's see what brings out caution number 3. Headed into the tri-oval. Bump drafting from the 1-8 of Briley Wright. Slams the 4-8. The 5's involved, the 3's involved. There you see Seth Wansing, who just let the field by to avoid getting caught up in an accident, and just nothing that could be done. Have a look from Cody Riggs' point of view. And the number 3, Smokey's Chevrolet. Repping hard for the folks in Greensburg, Kentucky, getting caught up in an accident there. Let's have one more look here. Thomas Andrews got through the accident. The 32 of Adam Taylor just surviving all of that. Now let's ride along with the 18 of Briley Wright. See if we can find out just how the bump drafting went. Not the smoothest there. Let's see how it looked from the 4 of Terry Gabbard. Now with Adam Taylor. He doesn't even flinch. Almost no time to react for the 32 car, but he escaped that accident all too well. And for that, Adam Taylor from Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, he's earned his own Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream!
Ice cream indeed, Cole. Ice cream indeed. So drivers last pitting only 10 laps ago. No need to pit for them. But we'll take a short break while they get collected once again, fans. Don't go anywhere. This time we'll be back in just 90 seconds from virtual Talladega. Back at Talladega, watching at Tommy Reynolds lead this race so far. Let's see how Reynolds is enjoying his event. Tommy Reynolds, Rick James up top. You got me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
You're at the front of this race. You're going to restart with control of the field with 45 laps to go. Can you bring this unmarked number 7 to victory lane?
I'm hoping so. We've been up front most of the day, so we had a couple close calls there, and I've been drafting with Tom Sears, so if he gets back up here, I think we might have a chance.
Without your usual drafting partner, who are you looking to share the air with at the front?
I've been around Tommy, COT Tommy around most of the race, so he's been pretty smooth with it around the corner, so I'm hoping he can get to my bumper.
Is it going to take a last lap pass to win this race? We've seen up front that it's really just 2x2, almost 5 rows deep when we get into a run. Is that going to be how it's going to go for the rest of this evening?
I think if we go green here, it'll be single file for quite some time, and then once the cautions come out, they're going to really come out, so be ready for that. I'm not sure how the ending's going to plan out. It honestly could go to anybody in the field right now.
You got a great jump on the restart last time that really spread the field out on that opening lap. Is that what you plan to do again? Get a great jump?
You'll see.
Best of luck, Mr. Reynolds. Keep it shiny. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
Thank you.
Tommy Reynolds not revealing any secrets, but keep your eyes out. As soon as the pace car peels off, he may look to move. It is his responsibility. The lead goes off, the restart goes off the leader, Tommy Reynolds, with control of the field, waiting for the signal. Have a listen for the spotter for the acceleration. Here we go. 45 laps remain. He jumps, he moves, there's the signal, green flag, and it's an amazing restart for Reynolds. Look at the gap increase from car number 7 to the 6-2, and we're racing again with 45 circuits remaining. Electing not to pass him, but push him into the corner. Joshua Garrison sits third. Richie Catania behind him. And here goes Thomas Andrews to the outside, and he's got to make a double move to the outside, almost 3 wide. 6-2 ducks right back in front of the 2-4 and the 7. Thomas Andrews, who won the season opener at Rockingham, now new leader with Adam Taylor to his outside. Jaco earlier in chat saying he hoped the 32 got penalized for that bump drafting there that took out the 5-3. And look at Adam Taylor from Lawrenceburg, Kentucky to the inside line. He now has sole possession of the lead. Goes up top to block car number 4, Terry Gabbard. Toby Estes, the pole sitter, now trying to draft on the top side. Andrews to that inside line to avoid 4 wide down the back straight. No patience being exercised on this restart. Tommy Reynolds to the inside. 3 wide for first place once again. Will they survive? John Honeybrink on the outside in that Dogecoin number 20. The 7 of Tommy Reynolds trying to take the lead away. It will be a drag race to the line, and the 2-0 of John Honeybrink leads that lap with points leader Donald Ray in tow. Ray just involved in that most recent tri-oval accident. Will he draft with the 20? Will he go down that inside line? And it's the middle lane that is the most popular. Adam Taylor on that inside behind Tommy Reynolds. Terry Gabbard in the number 4. Jimmy John's Fusion with no help. Patrick Allen weaving all over the racetrack, out of control in that brawny Impala, and not the first time we've seen the Colorado pilot lose all sense of direction. The 4 of Terry Gabbard loose through the corner on the outside of Toby Estes. Drivers just trying to survive, coming to 42 laps remaining. Honeybrink on the outside, Donald Ray behind him, everybody still not able to exhale. Terry Gabbard on the top line with no drafting help, wiggling, trying to get a hold of his race car. The 4-5 of Patrick Allen seems to have regained control of that brawny Chevrolet. Dustin Painter tucks in at the back of this field in the Aquafresh 00, and this is what the world looks like from the cockpit of that Pontiac. At the front, John Honeybrink chooses not to go to the inside line, and he'll stay with his drafting partner, Donald Ray. Terry Gabbard using the side draft and help from Toby Estes to the top side of the top line. And he's got Elrich George also third in that formation. No, that's not George. That's the 6-2. That's Josh Garrison in the Me Impala. Look at this. 3 wide. 3 and 4 rows deep into the third corner. How about it? Sanity prevails. Turn number 3 enters with cars 3 wide, and it exits with just 1 wide. John Honeybrink still at the top, but here comes Tommy Reynolds up the inside once more. Reynolds said ideally he would like to draft with this driver here, Tom Sears in the 1-4 RaceArcs.com Supra. Sears finds himself behind the 2 of Thomas Andrews in the MGD Chevrolet. He's 3 wide with Florida's Richie Catania, and ahead of Andrews, Adam Taylor in the 3-2 Sharpie Ford. John Honeybrink leading with cars weaving behind him. Tommy Reynolds with more side drafting up the inside line, and the number 7 winless Aramark Chevrolet back to fighting for the lead. .39 laps remain. John Honeybrink just ahead of Donald Ray, who sees daylight on the inside. Will he force the issue under the 20 car? No. Drivers must be careful not to bump draft. There's Cody Riggs in the Smokies Chevrolet. Will he duck down to the inside to get out of the way of all these drivers? He will. Heads up play by the driver of the number 3 Impala. And there goes the rest of the field around Cody Riggs. He's got that race car repaired, but he's going to have to use some draft to get it to be competitive. John Honeybrink now with the undisputed lead in car 2-0. Donald Ray sits second in line in the number 5, and then Tommy Reynolds third up that inside line. Briley Wright in the 1-8, now being pushed by Jeremy Brio into the corner. The 32 of Adam Taylor also jumping to the top side. Toby Estes ahead of him, and we heard these drivers saying they would love to get a Kentucky connection going. The 18, the 7-8, the 3-2, all from the Bluegrass State, and the 7-4 of Jeremy Brio, the wedge in that Kentucky draft party. John Honeybrink leading. Briley Wright now to the outside, using the side draft. Honeybrink trying to cut off the progress. The 5 of Donald Ray sees daylight. Honeybrink has to block the 5. Brio looking topside in the 7-4 Taco Bell Intrepid. Here comes Toby Estes using the draft, making it 3 wide for the lead on lap 64. Estes to the outside of Briley Wright in the 1-8. John Honeybrink still has the lead, still getting a mirror full of Donald Ray in the 5. Ryan Pennell in the number 12, watching all of this unfold ahead of him. Let's ride shotgun with the 12 car. .35 laps to go this time by. Briley Wright on that inside line has control with the 7-4 of Jeremy Brio trying to sneak up on the top side. The 1-4 of Tom Sears also trying to get past on that high side as well. Drivers last pitting on laps 44 and 53. Tires not as important here as other tracks, obviously, but the fuel may come into play if it goes green all the way to the end. Tom Sears in the 1-4. He's ahead on the inside line. He's got sole possession of this lead. The 18 of Briley Wright sits just behind him. On the outside, Jeremy Brio with big help from Richie Catania in the 2-4. They've got Sears to the inside line. Briley Wright pushing along the 1-4. Garrison third in line on the bottom. Donald Ray also helping out with the draft. Everybody getting a bit closer now. To quote repeat 1975, it is a hornet's nest. Gabbard finds himself in the wall. He's scraping along the top side. Toby Estes now goes to the inside in his Viper Intrepid. He's got Adam Taylor below him. Estes cuts in front of that 4-car. Further up, Tommy Reynolds in the 7, now behind the 5 of Donald Ray. 67 laps, now complete. Toyota and Dodge splitting the responsibilities of leading this field. Briley Wright in the 1-8 behind the other Toyota in this field, the Supra of Sears. Richie Catania also on the top side, getting a big push from the 6-2 of Josh Garrison. Then the 12 of Ryan Pennell, the Birmingham, Alabama native. Behind that 6-2, a graduate of Hoover High School, coming home. Will he be in contention for the win? There's still more than 30 laps remaining, but it's been quite the nice race so far for Jeremy Brio. He leads lap 68, and he hopes it stays just as nice as it is now. 31 laps from this moment. The 7-4 of Brio just ahead of Sears, but will he stay ahead of Sears? Tom Sears jumping to the top side. Richie Catania behind him. One car slow up ahead. It's the 4-8 of Tristan Catania. Where will the New Jersey pilot go? We saw Cody Riggs dive down to the apron. Catania in the middle of the track now. Where will he move when the leaders arrive? Catania looking to move to the inside and out of the way of this 200-mile-an-hour cavalry. Here come the leaders. Catania staying to the top side in that third lane. Everyone having to funnel beneath him, and they do expertly. Beautifully done, everybody. Funnels around car 48. Back to racing at the front. Jeremy Brio leading the top line. Not as organized as that inside line and not as many numbers. You can expect that inside line to overtake the top line, but Adam Taylor jumps to assist. He's behind the Ford, Jimmy John's Ford, and he's going to give Terry Gabbard a great push out of turn number 4. Tom Sears is up 19 places from where he started. The defending champion comes into this race 5th in those point standings. He's only got a 2-digit lead over Dustin Painter, and he's 3 points behind John Honeybrink, who's 3 places behind him. Tom Sears looking at the final 4 races of this season. Will he be Thursday Night Thunder's first 3-time champion? Look at this, Ryan Pennell out the back, wiggling hard out of that second corner, but he keeps that Mobile 1 Ford moving in the right direction. Everybody collectively holding their breaths into turn number 3. It'll be 29 laps to go when they hit the line, and still one more pit stop before they can call it a night. Getting split up at the front. This is going to allow more drivers to get in. Jeremy Brio going topside behind Richie Catania, who jumps to the lead in the 2-4, and the Floridian goes to the front. Brilliant move by Catania. Now he has Sears behind him. Will everybody accordion out of the second corner? The top line with more momentum. Briley Wright to the outside. Can't defend against Jeremy Brio. 3 wide for the lead once again. Seth Wanting in the chat says, a rough night for this 9-car, but I love this racing, and that's the charm that Thursday Night Thunder brings. Old school Generation 4 cars at their very best, and you're seeing the product now inside the final 30 laps. Richie Catania, Briley Wright side by side as the track is washed in golden Alabama sunlight. Fans at home, don't forget to link your Amazon account with your Twitch account. Get a free Twitch subscription every month to Rick James TV and look at the minefield up ahead. The 45 of Patrick Allen on the top side, the 6 of Tommy Withers ahead of him. How will the leaders get around that 4-5 car? He's been involved in 3 wrecks tonight. Will he make it 4? 73 laps about to be completed as Briley Wright sits ahead of Richie Catania in the 2-4. Tom Sears in the 1-4, also on that inside line. Ryan Pennell backs out of the gas and tucks back in to that top lane. Toby Estes, the pole sitter, slingshotting his way to the front of this field. There's the 4-5 of Patrick Allen down to the apron and staying well out of the way of his competitors. Toby Estes to the lead once again. 26 laps to go next time by. Estes side by side with Jeremy Brio. Both Estes and Brio have won a race this season, but only one. Can they secure their second win of the season at Talladega? We're going to find out 25 1/4 laps from now. Tommy Withers on the inside line, that number 6 Pontiac, looking to stay out of the way of the race leaders, stays on the inside line, forces everyone to go high around him. The Amoco Grand Prix on the inside being lapped by the leaders, and mercifully everyone makes it through without harm. Jeremy Brio in that 7-4, Taco Bell Intrepid. He's got help from Ryan Pennell in the 1-2. The 4 of Terry Gabbard on the outside. They're looking 3 wide again through the corner. Will they make it through? Everybody holding their breath. Fists clenched around that steering wheel. And it looks like everyone has made it through without harm. Adam Taylor surviving all of that at the front. Again, the 3-2 of Taylor to the outside of Toby Estes. And the Kentucky connection is coming into fruition. The Sharpie Ford trying to defend from the Taco Bell Dodge, and the Dodge Viper Intrepid on the inside being pushed by another Kentucky pilot. The love from the Bluegrass State mounting as the 6 of Tommy Reynolds bounces off that outside wall. Terry Gabbard gets ahead of him, 3 wide for the lead into the 3rd corner. Riley Wright to the inside. And they're coming down for green flag pit stops. Keep your eye on these cars here. Everybody trying to get woed up, flying into pit road at an enormous rate of speed, including the 7 of Tommy Reynolds. Richie Catania's gone around. There's been a crash at the entrance of pit road. Catania goes off track. Adam Taylor also went off track. Look at the 32. He missed the commitment cone. Taylor missed the commitment cone on the way into pit road. Burnt Rubber Media subscribing, a 17-month subscriber now. Thank you, Burnt Rubber Media, Terry Radford, and all the friends over there at Burnt Rubber. Meanwhile, with 24 circuits remaining, Tom Sears leads Jeremy Brio and company. Will they take this opportunity to come down pit road? They will not. They will not. They're going to keep it inside 23 laps, but how far do they dare stretch it? There's Josh Garrison now leaving pit road. Tommy Withers on the outside with Tristan Catania. They're fighting to get their laps back. Adam Taylor still getting service, as is Richie Catania. Not sure what kind of penalties they may be serving, if any, but it is a very, very difficult task now. The 32 from Lawrenceburg missing the commitment cone on the way in, and the 24 from Central Florida spinning on his way down pit road. The 24 is out, the 32 motionless, and unless he gets a lucky break, Adam Taylor out of contention for the race win. The Massachusetts pilot and defending champion, Tom Sears, coming to 22 laps to go. He's got the 7.4 Dodge and the 1.2 Ford pushing that 1.4 Supra, but when will they come down pit road, and will they do it together? Cody Riggs in the 3. He finds himself 2 laps down, but still fighting valiantly. 3 wide now as Tommy Withers goes to his inside. Thomas Andrews in the 12th position. He finds himself 1 lap down. Drivers snaking around Ohio's Terry Gabbard, who's in the 10th spot, also 1 lap down. He came down during that first wave of pit stops, a rather disorganized wave of pit stops, and ruining the chance for those drivers to come out in succession in order to draft with each other. Everyone still slicing and dicing in the tri-oval, trying to find a draft partner. 20 laps to go next time by, and all eyes on race leader Tom Sears. Ryan Pennell having to let off the gas. You can see Tommy Withers going to his outside. Bama Trama in the chat with a few hearts for her man Terry. Glad to have the whole Tennessee family in the chat tonight. Love you, Mama Falls. Love you, Terry. Thanks for that other subscription. Pole sitter Toby Estes is out of pit road. He's drafting with Tommy Reynolds in the 5. The 18 of Briley Wright, followed by the 5 of Donald Ray. Dustin Painter currently sitting 9th at the moment. Here is race leader Tom Sears. Will they take this opportunity to come down pit road or try and trap the cars ahead? 1 lap down. Pit road it is. Race leader is in. Everybody is on their way in. Will they make it safely? Big skid from Sears in the 1.4. The defending champion losing control of his race car on the way down pit road. It's going to cost him so much time and a desperate entrance on the way in. He's even overtaken by Cody Riggs on the way down pit road. Jeremy Brio being scored as the race leader comes to a halt. He's getting his tires, his fuel. There's Tommy Reynolds in the 5 car leading this 5 car single file line. 2:0 to go, and it's going to be 1-9 at the line. Drivers should be good to go the entire distance to the end of this race if it stays green. There's John Honeybrink, the race leader. There's Tommy Reynolds, the soon-to-be race leader. There's no drafting help for the 12, for the 2, for the 20, the 7.4 still in pit road. Is it a penalty for the 74? Same for the 14. Big penalty for them, and they might as well just be out of contention to win this race. Tommy Reynolds ahead of the 6 of Withers, who's just sitting on the inside line, forcing everybody to dodge the 6 car, who's motionless on the inside line into turn number 3. Dangerous move for Withers, forcing his rivals to dodge him and just cut right. Everybody makes it through unscathed. 18 laps to go. Car 7 leads. The 78 is in second. Briley Wright sitting in third. Ryan Pennell drafting with the 3 of Cody Riggs. That's the 4.8 of Tristan Catania, who's just up ahead. Catania's in 14th. And there they can see the rest of those leaders. Thomas Andrews, what is the 2 car doing? Is he trying to get right in front here? He was just on his way out of pit road. Now drafting with the 4 and the 24. Thomas Andrews and Terry Gabbard, 8th and 9th. the 2-4 of Richie Catania running 15th. Seven, 7-8, 1-8, your top three. Tommy Reynolds leading this race with Toby Estes in second. Briley Wright sitting in third. Reynolds has not won a race this season. He's 15th in the point standings. Briley Wright also winless, 10th in the point standings and only 6 markers behind Jason Alexander, who's out of this race, being scored in 20th. If they can survive, it will be a very lucrative points day for these drivers. But at Talladega, everybody just wants to win. 16 laps to go, and Tommy Reynolds still has control of the field. $15 laps to go now. Tommy Reynolds, Toby Estes, and Briley Wright, your top three. John Honeybrake now on the outside, losing positions to Ryan Pennell. He's going to tuck in behind the Smokies Bar Impala of Cody Riggs. Riggs running in the 18th position, 2 laps down, but still fighting hard. And you have to appreciate that fighting spirit from this driver here. Ryan Pennell up ahead, sitting in 6th. He's up 12 places from where he started. Pennell is 13th in the points. This could be a great points day for Pennell. Also, there's Dustin Painter running up 7 places from where he started. Painter on the tail end of this lead pack. Donald Ray, the points leader, the Texan, sitting in 4th. Will he extend his 16-point lead? Will he lose even more ground headed into the final 4 races? It's going to be lucky number 13 laps to go next time by. 7.2 seconds, the gap between 6th Ryan Pennell and 5th Dustin Painter. There you see out of turn number 2, the cars just trailing in the ever so far distance. Up ahead, Jeremy Brio and Tom Sears running 11th and 12th respectively after getting penalties on pit road. Patrick Allen in the 45 behind these drivers, but not competitive enough to keep up with their draft, and there are the race leaders starting to catch up. But when will they make their move? When will they break out of single file formation? Lucky number 13 laps remain. A dozen to go. Toby Estes had the race lead in hand when he spun the car out at Watkins Glen. Estes unable to recover the car. Terrible finish for him. He does have a win this season. It came last week at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, leading 80 of 133 laps. A most dominant win for Estes, and there he goes slingshotting around Tommy Reynolds for the lead. One more look, car 78, new leader at Talladega. Textbook slingshot for car 78. A dozen laps become 11 to go. Estes now leading ahead of Tommy Reynolds. Briley Wright sitting in third. Donald Ray in fourth. Dustin Painter rounding out the top 5 in the Buckshot Pontiac. Tom Sears urging Jeremy Brio forward. Patrick Allen catches this two-car tandem, and they watch the leaders draw ever closer as they come to 10 laps remaining. If you just recently tuned in, you've got impeccable timing. You're watching Thursday Night Thunder di9 Designs from Talladega. We're going to get 10 laps to go when they cross the line. Kentucky's Toby Estes leads Tommy Reynolds. He's up 14 places. The 18 of Briley Wright up 16 places from where he started. And there's just over 23 miles remaining in this race. The longest race of the season, 266 miles is the scheduled distance. Everybody's good to go to the end. No fuel mileage race to decide this one. Just grit and determination. Reynolds almost looking to the outside. Thinks otherwise. Briley Wright in the 1-8 just hanging back. Waiting for his opportunity. Waiting for a chance to make a move. Points leader Donald Ray sitting in fourth. 1-0 to go, becomes 9 at the line, and now these 3 cars up ahead have to think about their next move. Where will they go to stay out of the leaders' way? They're on the inside line. Will the leaders have enough time to overtake them on the outside? The answer is yes. Everybody snakes down the back straight like Indianapolis. And they get back into formation to receive 8 laps to go. Estes, outside of the top 20 in points, running a part-time schedule, looking for his second win this season, running this part-time schedule. Can you imagine the celebrations that are going to go on in Smokey's Bar when Toby Estes, well, let's say if he can get this win. 7.5 laps, still a very long way to go with Reynolds behind him. The 1-8 of Briley Wright sitting in third. Everybody looking to make their move, but they just don't know when. The tension mounts. Everybody wondering when it's going to happen. Will they survive? Will we go caution-free to the end? Tom Sears and Jeremy Brio catch up to the back of this pack. They may not be fighting for the win, but they are fighting for crucial points. With 4 races remaining after tonight, the championship is still wide open, and it's Donald Ray's title to lose, but he's racing like he's trying to win it now. Ray leading the top line. There goes Reynolds to the outside. Tommy Reynolds makes the move to block Donald Ray. Ray with too much momentum to be stopped. He's got the 6 of Tommy Withers behind him, the 7, the 74, and the 45 in the center vacuum lane. 45 not in contention. That's Patrick Allen, and there's a crash. Donald Ray's into the wall. Tommy Reynolds making it through. Toby Estes, your race leader. Still green. Still green. Yellow flag comes out at Talladega, coming to 6 laps to go. Donald Ray involved in his second accident this evening as the pace car comes out to slow the field down. And let's see what happened on lap 94. Oh, the crash has already occurred. Have another look. Possible bump drafting from the 7 of Tommy Reynolds. A big no-no, as was described and discussed in the drivers' meeting. Bump drafting was not to occur. Let's have a look with Tommy Reynolds. going to see Ray slingshot on the outside here. There's Ray. Watch for any contact. There it is, not bump drafting. Ray thought he was clear, and he most certainly wasn't. Jeremy Brio trying to go around, just barely saves that 7-4. Have another look. Ray thought he was clear, and he just wasn't. Jeremy Brio nearly surviving that one. They almost made it. Let's have a look now with Tommy Withers. You want to see this angle here. Look at the momentum carried by the 5 car. Just unstoppable using that draft. Nowhere for the 6 car to go. So caution comes out for the 4th time tonight, which means we're going to restart with about 3 laps to go. This one is going to be so much fun to play for. Round number 8 coming down to the very nitty-gritty. So while these drivers take a break, we're going to do the same, fans. We'll be back in 2 minutes, but do not miss these final laps. We'll be back in 2 with the last 3 times around for di9 Designs Thursday Night Thunder. Don't go anywhere. So it's come to this. 3 laps to decide the winner of this race. And we haven't started our green-white checkered attempts. We're not guaranteed we'll go caution-free to the end. Greensburg's Toby Estes ahead of Briley Wright. 2 Kentucky boys nose to tail with 3 laps to go. Tommy Reynolds behind him. Estes gets the jump. They start accelerating. Green flag is out. 3 laps to go in Talladega. Sensational jump. Toby Estes on the high side, getting pushed by the 18. The 7 car of Tommy Reynolds now up the inside line. But who will draft with him? Dustin Painter in the 00. Also winless, the North Carolinian, looking to get that first notch on his belt this season. 6th in the point standings. Kentucky tandem drafting on the top side. Reynolds up 14 places from where he started. Will he get his first victory of the season? Here comes John Honeybrink using the slingshot on the outside, single-handedly trying to take the lead, coming to 2 laps to go. 5 1/4 miles remains. Everybody getting twitchy, everybody getting nervous. White flag next time by. Toby Estes on the top side. Tommy Reynolds to the inside. Dustin Painter in the 00 pushing that 7. Who will win out? Who will collect the white flag? Everybody jostling left and right. Still nobody's safe. Down this back straight, 1.5 laps remain. White flag is out. Next time by. Estes leading by a hair. He's got the 7 of Reynolds to his inside, who looks a bit unstable. Will they all make it out of turn 3 and 4 without caution? Your heart's racing now. Just waiting, watching. You can taste it. You can smell it. Will it be checkers? Will it be wreckers? 1 lap to go. Toby Estes collecting the white flag by 1/100th of a second. John Honeybrink forcing his way to the inside line, leaving no room. There's Wright. There's Honeybrink wrecking behind them. They're gonna race it to the line. Impatience causing that accident there. Dustin Painter pushing the 7 car, slingshotting to the outside. Toby Estes behind him in the 78. There's Ryan Pennell from Birmingham, the graduate of Hoover High School, to the inside line, pushing the 7 of Tommy Reynolds. Half a mile to the end. Dustin Painter on the outside trying to side draft. The 7 of Reynolds getting into the 00. What is happening? Tommy Reynolds collecting the 00. Ryan Pennell in the Mobile 1 Ford will benefit. He will win. Coming through the tri-oval. Round 8 goes to Ryan Pennell. Have you ever? Have you ever? Tommy Reynolds in the 7 car, trying to side draft the win away from Dustin Painter. His aggression cost him everything, and he remains winless. Meanwhile, Ryan Pennell in the 1-2 Mobile 1 Ford Taurus gets his first win of the season. Cody Pennell in the chat says, hell yeah. Bama Trama says, yay, Birmingham. And the local driver, the hometown flavor, wins out. Ryan Pennell, first win of the season, and what a way to get it done. Fans at home, we're going to have top 3 in the podium. North Carolina's Dustin Painter coming home in 2nd. Ohio's Terry Gabbard getting the 3rd place finish. Ryan Pennell deservedly will burn the house down, and how. Very well earned. He was there when it mattered. And the Mobile 1 Ford will celebrate with a great smoke show. Let's go back to the white flag and see how it all unfolded. I don't want to break away from this burnout. What a celebration. white flag is out, Ryan Pennell. Third on the inside line. Watch John Honeybrink. He's going to commit the same error here. Honeybrink tries to side draft. It looked like the 1-8 of Briley Wright got made into some contact. And have another look. Watch Briley Wright here. The 4 of Terry Gabbard is going to get a piece of this accident, but keep it moving. Wright gets loose, makes contact with the 0-0, and that's all she wrote for the rest of these drivers here. Wright almost makes it through. Cody Riggs gets caught up in that one. Now keep your eye on the 7 of Tommy Reynolds. He finished 10th. You're going to see Reynolds try and use the side draft to his advantage, but again, this all-too-aggressive move costs him the race. Look at that. Aggressively pushing his way up the track, knocks into the 0-0, gets the 78 out of contention. Let's have another look here, see if we can find out where Tommy Reynolds makes that move. Keep your eyes on the hands. We're going to go to the cockpit here shortly. Look at Dustin Painter making his way to the outside. And keep your eye on the hands of car number 7 here. Watch the move to block Painter. That aggression right there cost him the race. Ryan Pennell watches it all unfold behind him. And the 1-2 Mobil 1 Ford gets the win at Talladega. How do you like that? Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to collect Terry Gabbard, Dustin Painter, and Ryan Pennell. We're going to put them on the podium and talk to our top 3 in just a moment. On the podium now with our top 3, West Alexandria, Ohio's Terry Gabbard in the number 4, Freaky Fast Jimmy John's Ford collects the bronze medal. Terry, the white flag comes out. You even got a piece of that accident in turn number 1, and somehow you survived for 3rd. Great race.
Yeah, it was up and down all night. We was going to the front, going to the back, but the car was fast. I got a little issue under caution on that last caution, and I knew the car didn't have much of a front end, so I was kind of scared about being up front. The 24 went to the outside, and we were 3 wide again, and I decided to take the middle. And when the wreck happened, I was able to just keep the car straight, and those guys wrecked out in front of me, finished 3rd. Happy with the finish. Needed that finish tonight for sure.
We're going to see you in 2 weeks' time. Terry, a great 3rd place finish for the rest of the season. Is this the turnaround that your team needs?
Well, we'll see. Got to make sure that we can just kind of keep it together. These restrictor plate races, it's a lot about strategy and keeping the car straight and staying out of trouble. A lot of these other tracks we go to are not, and so it's just kind of a different thing tonight. We'll see how it works out for us. Try to take that momentum into the next couple weeks and see how it works out for us. But yeah, it's tough here in TNT. Not a lot of cautions. You got to make sure you make the right calls all the time, or you're just going to be hung out to dry.
Congratulations on 3rd. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Our 2nd place finisher, North Carolinian Dustin Painter in the Aquafresh Buckshot Pontiac, comes home with a silver medal. And Painter, this is the turnaround that your season needed. Great way to bring it home.
Yeah, I guess.
You almost did get collected at the end there. You had a shot for the win. Was obviously the last lap is so unpredictable. Is there anything we could have done different to see the 0-0 at the top?
Yeah, not have the 7 decide to go way up there and try to take me out, but that's okay. He better have them belts tight because the trash man's going to collect some trash next time I see him.
We'll see you in 2 weeks' time from Chicagoland fans. You heard it here first. Round 2 of Reynolds Painter from Joliet. Congratulations on the silver medal. Our race-winning interview brought to you by the good folks over at di9 Designs, the Chase Elliott custom graphic design page on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at di9 Designs. They post graphics on all platforms multiple times a week and take requests on all types of logos, Chase Elliott wallpapers, iRacing schemes, and more. Follow and DM them for more details. They are not affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott. Be sure to use code di9 Designs for free shipping on your diecast and merch orders over $20 on CircleBDiecast.com. And now the winner, driver of the number 12 Mobil 1 Ford with his first win this season, his first, what I might believe to be his first Thursday Night Thunder win in 3 seasons, a graduate of Hoover High School, native son of Birmingham, Alabama, Ryan Pannell. When the dust settles under that Alabama sunset, you, my friend, have won TNT Round 8.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it. I mean, I'm still in shock. We got so many good drivers here in TNT, and it's been a while. I think Atlanta season 2 or 3 is the last time I won here, and I was riding behind Tommy Reynolds in the 7, and he went up high, made a little bit of contact with D-Bucks, and I stayed in it. I wasn't going to lift, and I hit him a little bit, made a little bit of contact, and spun him. I'm glad D-Bucks made it and finished second. I was working with D-Bucks all race, but man, I can't believe we came back to the finish line in first. I mean, we started 18th. We didn't have a good qualifying run, but man, this 12 car was fast all night. We had good strategy. Pit crew chief did a great job. Man, I'm stoked. I can't even explain how excited I am to win here at Talladega.
You got props from your cousin Cody. You've got the Kentucky connection, Cody Riggs, giving you some love in the chat as well. K-Rex, again, everybody just so pumped for you. It's a shame we've got to wait 2 weeks to see you on track again, but we will see you from the Chicagoland Motor Speedway in 14 days, going for 2 wins in a row in Thursday Night Thunder.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we got our corporate trip next week at Talladega, actually, so fitting to finish off TNT with a win here at Dega. It just happened to work that way with the schedule, and I appreciate Cody and Kinsey. I love all my fans. We try every week, and man, it is so hard to get a win here in ARCS with all these fast drivers. So to bring this 12 car home to victory lane, man, I couldn't be more proud of my team and my teammates over at Sideswipe. We appreciate Smokey's Bar for streaming the race tonight over there in Kentucky. Man, I hope we put on a show. It was a blast on the track, and man, I couldn't ask for anything more.
The only thing we can ask you to do now is go celebrate. Congratulations once again, Ryan.
Thank you, sir.
Fans at home, what a way to get that win. Unbelievable. And again, just a terrible shame we have to wait 2 weeks until the next Thursday Night Thunder race. But the Alliance Racing Championship Series does have its corporate meeting next week right here from Talladega. And then in 2 weeks, we will be back for more Thursday Night Thunder action. A big shout out, hug, and love to the folks over at Smokies in Kentucky. A big shout out to all the fans in the chat. We cannot do these races without you. Thank you so much for sticking around. And until that next race, everybody please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will see you all around